Hi, I'm Omar Butti, and this is Voices of Sustainability, brought to you by the Zayed Sustainability Prize. Each episode, we bring you honest conversations with the people behind impactful solutions, the innovators, builders, and leaders shaping a sustainable future. This is where ideas meet action and where impact takes shape. In this episode, we bring together 3 of the 2026 Zayed Sustainability Prize winners. As winners in the water, health, and food categories, they share what it takes to move from idea to implementation and discuss how the prize is helping accelerate solutions already making a difference. In this episode, we sit down with 3 of the 2026 Zayed Sustainability Prize winners. Marília Lara from Status 4, Ronaldo Cohin from JADE, and Didi from N&E Innovations. Thank you so much for being with us here. Of course, we have with us our winners in the water, health, and food categories. And we're going to be talking to you a little bit about how you went from idea to implementation, and also how the prize is going to be helping you accelerate those solutions that are already making a difference. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to have you. So really just to sort of set the stage, I would love to hear a little bit about each of your personal journeys, where that initial idea, that spark came from, and how it all got started. So Didi, if I could start with you.
So I started in 2020, really in the midst of COVID, really starting with the idea of making natural hand sanitizers for my little girl that has really bad eczema. So we take food waste, we put in a little bioreactor in our living room, and that's how it sparks off all our journey. And I decided to start the company because of my children. So N&E is actually the initials of my children, Nathaniel, Emmer, that we really want to make a more sustainable planet for our future generations.
And how has it grown since, and what do you guys do today?
Globally, there's so much food waste that we use, and they're normally dumped to landfills. So we were thinking of how we actually use this underutilized waste material and turn it into something more useful that we can use in our everyday life. So now what we have done is we upcycle agricultural food waste and we turn them into the world's first antibacterial, compostable cling wraps that could help extend the shelf life of fresh produce, but at the same time also reduce single-use plastics in our everyday lives.
I mean, I think it's fantastic. I am someone who, since COVID, has carried a hand sanitizer around with me everywhere. I would love it if it was less sort of chemically, for lack of a better term. So that's great. I'm going to hear more, of course. But Ronaldo, I also want to bring you into this conversation. And I know that you also have a personal family angle to JADE, right?
Yes. That started when I discovered the diagnostic of my son. I was in the middle of a very hard moment of my life because I was a rock musician before it, and I had a career for like 10 years. And my son was born right on the moment that ecosystem of rock music in Brazil was going down. And I discovered, and I got very shocked, but I was already finishing my computer science college, and I wanted to start a research to understand his world better. But on that point, I was not
And your son is neurodivergent.
Yes, he has autism. He's 12 now, and he was around 5 on that point. And I wanted to understand more about that, but not thinking about business at all. I just wanted to make like a nice app and game for him, just app. But the things started to grow very fast, and and we are here now.
I mean, fantastic. Congratulations as well. And we'll come back obviously to how that scaled since you moved to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
But Marília, also would love to hear your story. I understand you work with your partner. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. I always want to have a company that the better it goes, the better it does. So the part of the impact is something that I say that it's like my stone number 1 in the company. Antonio, that is my husband and my co-founder, we were talking about we want to have a company, a technological company, and we want to do something better for the world. And we were hired to develop traditional equipment to find out leakage in the water distribution system that is called geophone. It's like a stethoscope.
Okay.
And
this was a typical job at this time.
Yes. And we saw that and said, oh my God, you need someone hearing the noise, in telling if there is a leakage or not. And Antonio is a mathematician, and 10 years ago, he already was studying about artificial intelligence. Nobody was talking about this. This is like in that time. And then we start to think, well, maybe we can arrange a way to listen to this and say if we have a leakage or not. And we start the business, and I start to learn more about water and about what water do in our lives and with the ones that don't have water. And I am a passionate in this issue.
And it's 10 years on. Just out of curiosity, what's it like working with your husband? I imagine that's challenging sometimes.
Yes, I think that maybe we are soulmates, so we work very good together. We respect the opinion of each other, and I think the kids help us to make all the sanity in the house, because 5 p.m. I have to close my notebook, he have to close his notebook, and now we are husband and wife.
It's telling that all of you have, again, a personal connection to your business, right? I think
Yeah.
that's something that's so important. It's not just obviously for the sustainable space that you all are in, but for any entrepreneur who is trying to build something. And it's very, very hard, right? I imagine you all have your stories. I'm curious, from all of you to a certain extent, what was a moment that you felt like it wasn't going to work out, and how you sort of pushed through that? And maybe I'll come back to you now, Didi. But again, if you guys have any thoughts, please jump in.
For us, it's as a woman founder in deep tech, it was really difficult to raise money, especially in COVID times, right? So we had a great idea. We thought I thought that it would be easy to raise money, but I was wrong. So for the first 2 years, I had to self-fund the company. I put all my savings I have into the company.
And what gave you that confidence? Obviously, I imagine that was
I think
scary.
it's the belief that because we have initial findings, we show that actually food waste, we could turn it into something that's cost efficient, because we don't want to have a product that is overpriced, or a lot of people think that sustainability means that it's expensive. When we were looking for food waste, we are very specific. We wanted to find underutilized feedstock to give us the cost comparative margins, to make sure that the products that we create will have an affordable price. Yeah, and that belief of making the world a more sustainable place by utilizing underutilized materials kept us going.
Did you also find challenges with investment, either of you?
Yes, we are invested from a fund from Saudi Arabia, and that basically our relationship with MENA region is very deep from the last like 4 or 5 years, and that's probably the reason that we are here today.
What about yourself, Maria?
I think we are as well a deep tech, because we are working with artificial intelligence. And I think that some years ago, deep tech wasn't in the hype. The problem is that when you are building a technology by the ground, from zero, it takes time. You are researching, and sometimes the research is not a line like straight ahead, and it's not going to have a problem. It's more than a very messy journey, and VCs doesn't like this. It's the kind of how they are built for. They must have return in 10 years, 7 years, or something like that. And deep tech probably will not give return in such this space of time. So this is something that is.
How do you keep confidence from people, investors, people sort of supporting your business?
I think that we must be resilient and think about how can we provide at least a piece of our technology and start to charge our clients and take money from them. We have 10 years, so in COVID, we almost break. For this, we lost 70% of our revenue, because we had a clause in the contracts that says if you have a disaster like like a pandemia, we can
Terminate the contract.
yes, without notice. And well, we lost a lot. One client stand because he said, I know that your technology is wonderful. It's not ready. It's not perfect, but you're going to be there. So I will continue paying. So we took that money. We took some money from banks, impact banks, because they are cheaper. The money is cheaper than normal regular banks. Loans, yes. We rebuilt our company, and since 2001, we started 2021, sorry. We start to get revenue and grow up, and it's resilience. I think
Yes.
that's the
I,
word.
I agree. It's that grit and that resilience that we want to prove everyone wrong. So we work extra hard. I remember in the earlier days, we were working 16 hours a day. And, we
You
didn't,
maintain that though, right? Like,
I think it's just a drive to really want to show that we can make it and this technology works. So within the 2 years, we actually validate the technology. We got our first customer, and we have more than 400,000 of sales in the second year after patenting the technology and sending it to third-party certifications. That's where our first investor came in, when they're like, hey, whatever you said 2 years ago, it happened. So sometimes in deep tech, it's really hard to pull through, and it's the grit and resilience in founders and in the founding team members to push through and make it happen.
I mean, it seems to have borne out, right? You're both here now and well deserved. Ronaldo, I want to bring you back into the conversation. I want to take a step back, talk to you about that process from when you were creating this app. You said mostly just for your son specifically, and when you sort of realized that it could be more than that. It could be used in maybe early diagnostics. It could be more broadly applicable. It could be, obviously now I think you're in hundreds of schools. Is that right? Or
Now 650.
600. Amazing.
200,000 users.
Fantastic. So yeah, when did that click for you? That this was not just something that you and your family could use, but that maybe would be useful for everyone.
Yes, it was a very interesting story, because that research was the dissertation of my college, of my course, basically. And when I created the first idea of JADE, and I presented to my dissertation in Brazil, you need, in the university that I was studying, you need at least 60% of the grade for the dissertation be approved. And my grade was exactly 60%, because they didn't see anything special on JADE on that point. The thing is that less than like 2 weeks after that, there is a big award in Brazil from an university which is like our Harvard from Brazil. It's called USP, University of São Paulo. They have a yearly prize for projects like this, and they indicated us, and I won the prize. And
so what was different there? What did they see that you didn't see in your
that's
university?
the point. They saw exactly what JADE could be after that, and the university that I was haven't seen that. And when I won, immediately on the same day, someone called me that I worked for in the past and said, okay, I want to invest. I think that can be something like big and can change lives. And that's how it started. And like months after that, we received another round of investment in Brazil, and really fast we reached like 25,000 users around the world, and totally viral, because we was not investing in the marketing or something like this. So that's why I believe, like, the story of JADE, I think there is that there's the saying in Arabic, they said maktub, right?
It's written, right?
Yeah, I think that it's maktub. It was written, because some things that happened doesn't make any sense. There was something that someone like mixed some pieces on the table, and the things happened, and it's crazy. Even the fact that we are here was a sequence of things that there are people that are here in the region for like 10 years, 15 years, and didn't accomplish the things that we are doing. And yeah, I think it's the willingness of God or something.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about that move because I mean we were very obviously honored to have you representing the UAE as at the Zayed Sustainability Prize.
Yes.
You know, that was a wonderful thing, and I think that's one of the great things about the UAE. So we have
Yes.
people from so many different nationalities and countries and backgrounds
Yes.
who are building incredible things here. And what was that move like for you?
Yeah.
I imagine it wasn't easy, obviously, picking up, moving your life here, and how did that impact, obviously, Jade?
Yes, was also this. There was in the middle of pandemics, and we received the invitation from the government of Brazil to come to JADE in Dubai, the biggest event of innovation, and they have another always is connected to some award or some prize because we won the Supernova Challenge in 2020 in the middle of pandemics, and after that we people started to talk about JADE in the UAE and Hub 71. So in that point, we had more opportunities in Dubai, but we received the invitation from Hub 71 to start on their program. They said, okay, it's a very good opportunity. And we started the company in the Hub 71. After that, we received the opportunity to be on the Angel Z program, and that was totally game changer because we could adapt our technology and our curriculum to Abu Dhabi and to UAE, and we could validate everything that we done. And basically, I think some KPIs that brought us to the Zayed Sustainability Prize is a lot because what we did in the Angel Z and the community of the UAE, and that's why we consider today JADE is a Emirati company. That was the game change about the big results that we have.
I mean, look, you're talking a little bit there about obviously how the business grew, and I think ours grown rather. I think, you know, people talk about scalability, and that's such a big challenge for any entrepreneurs. You have your proof of concept, it works, but then how you provide that at scale to more customers, potentially global, right? I imagine that's an aspiration for all of you. And Didi, just to bring you into this, I mean, looking at your product, it looks great to me. I would love to see it implemented on airplanes and, you know, including sort of cleaning surfaces or products. How is that going to work for you? Because at this point, you're servicing, you know, much bigger clientele than you have been before. But how can you potentially scale up? And is there any concern or fear there that that might be too much to handle?
I think from day one, I wanted to build a business that can scale. So we were very selective in terms of what type of food waste or feedstock we are using. So at the moment, we do have contracts with our uptakers that we can actually upcycle more than 10,000 tons of feedstock by 2030. And they have more than 100,000 tons readily available for me. So that is one point that I think if you are starting a business in sustainability, from day one, you have to make sure that it's able to scale. And that's what we have done. So we are able to scale our technology not only from the lab. So of course, innovation starts from the lab, but I think it's also very important from day one to find things that will amplify or ensure that when you get into the large industrial scale, you're able to still utilize the same raw materials. But of course, the journey is not easy. We have to change the formulation 1,000 times to tweak to the scale up from a gram scale to a pilot scale to now able to produce 10 containers per month. And with the Zayed Sustainability Award, we're looking to actually produce more than 40 containers of these new cling wraps to service not only the MENA region, but also to service Europe and Australia. Because I think
In Brazil, please.
yes,
And there's a
Don't leave them out, obviously.
definitely.
I'm curious that you mentioned missteps because I mean I think that's really informative for a lot of people. Is, you know, obviously we all appreciate successes, but the challenges, the missteps, the mistakes that go into those successes are really, I think, what makes them valuable and worthwhile, and also inspirational to other people. What, to your mind, is maybe one of the biggest missteps that you made, or that you're willing to share? I guess.
Yeah, I think because our technology is called VCON and it's a platform technology. So we actually could embed our technology in a whole range of different products. It could be medical because we use sanitization in the hospitals, right? So we were too broad. We wanted to do too much at first. We wanted to make coatings for airlines. We had that. We also had hand sanitizers, eco cleaners, and then we want to also go into food packaging, which which we also can do crop protection. There's so much to do because it's an antibacterial solution that can help kill bacteria, replacing toxic chemicals that you use in the everyday life. So it's very broad. So I think it's very important for startups or people who are starting a new technology business to be very focused on one product and get it right. Amplify that, then scale the other verticals or scale other products.
What about you, Marília? Do you have any particular missteps you'd like to share?
I agree totally with Didi because we made this kind of mistake. We are talking about water. Some years ago in 2018, we were like starting to struggling how to make an IoT because we need to collect data from the field. Now we don't use hardware anymore. We are now we do use, but we are in another way. But at the time, we need to develop a hardware to read the water pressure and water consuming, like one water metering, something like that. And we spend to gas metering. And this was one of our biggest mistakes. And I always say, I am a metaphor girl. Then I would say, when you don't have enough money, imagine that you take the sun and put through a window. It's just going to hit the space.
So the sun rays, if they're coming through a window, it just hits the space in the window,
yes.
right? Yeah, okay.
But if you take this window and put you are going to put all the energy of the sun to one point, and then you are going to make fire. So when you're talking about focus, it's this. We are a poor company. And in the beginning, it's this. We don't have money. I say we use our money, all our effort. I put my home. I sell my home and put on the company, in order to put it stand. But it's a little bit money. So you must be focused because it's different. It's another kind of consumer. It's another.
Yeah, and I think because we are tech founders, we always have so many ideas.
Yeah.
So we're not very focused from day one. So I think it's very important to be focused on one product, and get it right before expanding to the
And
second,
it's very
third.
difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, because everything is interesting. You know, someone comes to you, hey, this is a great POC. Would you like to do it? Sure. We'll always say sure.
You don't want to say no, right?
Yeah. So you must learn to say no. I think as tech founders.
I mean, well, hopefully none of you will be poor companies anymore, obviously. Congratulations on your victory and continued successes. I wanted to turn our attention now to the Zayed Sustainability Prize and the award. You talked a little bit about this before, Didi, but so what are your plans now with the prize, with the win going forward for your companies? Ronaldo, I'll bring you in.
Yeah, for us, we wanted to speculate what we do with the plan even before the plan, and we really would like to expand to close regions than we are. So basically now we are in Brazil, we are in the UK, in Portugal, and here. So we really would like to expand in MENA region for other countries like Saudi, Iraq, and other for example, in Europe, close to Portugal, also Spain and other Italy. And also some countries of Latin America. When I shook the hand of the sheikh, I told him like, I want to make you proud of this award because I want to show impact in multiple places, like not only in Brazil, not only here. I want to show like children having fun and developing in multiple parts. So that can be just the beginning. We can do much more of that in the future.
I assume the aspiration is to have it everywhere eventually, right? In all languages.
It's a global problem, yeah.
What about you, Didi?
Oh, definitely for us is we want to scale up our production because we found that there's not many people that can make this antibacterial cling wraps to help to extend the shelf life of fresh produce and at the same time reduce single-use plastics. So we're trying to push this technology not only in Asia, because now we're in the Southeast Asian countries. Want to push it into the MENA region where actually here temperatures are really.
When can we buy it here?
Yeah, so please find the right distributor. Send it my way.
We'll talk after the pod.
Yeah, so because I think in this region, the temperatures are so hot, so actually food spoilage is a critical issue. So if we can help solve it, and also there's a single-use plastic ban recently, so I think it's a matchmaking happen.
What about you, Marília?
Well, we are planning, we also were like, oh my God, if we won the prize, what we would do. And well, we are going to split the prize in two main areas. I said focus, but it's focus.
Only 2 areas.
With 2 areas.
Okay.
So of course we are going to expand the company. We are already nowadays we are in Brazil and in Portugal. We have already done a business plan to start in Latin Europe and Latin America for the next 24 months because they are near from us and we have a culture that is very near, and so it's easier to start something different. Learning about this, we are going to have like a playbook of how to attend other cities, other countries. Then we can for sure start to talk about Middle East. I didn't have any contacts now.
I mean,
Now I have a
water
lot.
waste is a huge issue here.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes, and now I have a lot of contacts, and so it's easier. And the other half, it's not a half, the other part of the investment, definitely in the AI. We know that AI, it's not something cheap to do, so we need people working on it. We need to, that the market, the water market is facing a digital transformation. 3 years ago, intelligent water metering, you were only gonna see in huge consumers like industries. Now it's affordable for our homes. I can use these water meterings, take the information that they already are collecting, and use my AI to analyze what is going on and tell my clients, well, you have a leakage in this part of the pipes or something like that. So to do this, we need people working on it. So I tried to live with the light of the sun, but I couldn't. I need money to put food on the table, so
Fair enough.
that's it.
Marília, you just remembered a friend of mine that once he won a prize and he said like, I will spend half in technology, half in marketing, half in R&D.
That's great.
That's how math works, right?
Yes,
There.
yes.
One thing I wanted to ask as well, as obviously, part of the prize, sort of nice elements of it is that you all had the opportunity to come here. I got the opportunity to meet you all, which is wonderful, but also to connect with the other finalists, the other winners. I wanted to talk a little bit about that experience for you. I can imagine it might be a little lonely sometimes, being in your specific corner. So to have other people around who also are trying to, make a big mark in the sustainability space, what has that been like for you to meet other like-minded individuals? And you can be honest. So Marília, tell me what you really think about these two.
It's recording. I can't.
It's recorded.
To say the truth, it's what you said. It's very lonely to be a founder, and when we met, this is very funny because I'm always meeting people, and it's like they are my crew, and we start to talk something, and we have so much examples that are the same. Though maybe okay, it's not in Brazil, it's here and it's in Singapore, but we have all the same problems. So it's very funny. We were talking about, for example, our children's and to be an entrepreneur. So the difficulties are the same. So it's very, very comfy to be with this kind of people with me. I love them already. Well, I am a Brazilian, so I have a lot of love. But
Although they
that's
also have
very
a
good.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have, we talked about that actually. And the thing is that I participate in some other awards and programs. And this one is different because everyone is connected to some cause. It's very social. Everyone has a mission here. But I think generally other prizes and awards are very, really looks like the music ecosystem. So there is a lot of ego, a lot of things, and that doesn't happen here. I said like, now we five, we are the Power Rangers. We have to change the word and say the word.
I think for me it's like the impact. We all are driven by our impact. Unlike a lot of other founders that we meet around the world, we are all mission driven.
Yeah.
And this mission driven has actually connected us even more deeply. We could share very openly what our value. I think our value systems are very similar. Hence, we can connect so much better. And I'm so honored to be here and to find people, like-minded people around the globe, to really share and amplify the world. We were even talking about how we could help each other and share the great technologies that we see into other parts of the world. And I think that's what is
We're not crazy. No.
You're not crazy. There are other people just like you.
It's what is so different about the Zayed Sustainability Prize. It's really bringing the impact changers of the world together and have impact founders that understand each other, and then we can see how we can help to.
And it's not a competition. We don't feel like competitors.
It's also
or
a
something.
competition, but
Yes, but I think that this kind of people here, we see like we were talking about this the other company that
Lara,
was
from Lara. Yeah.
she was wonderful. She's wonderful.
She's amazing. She's was on my category, and I was honestly cheering for her. Like, she's amazing, the work that she do, and you can find everyone from the finalists. If you talk, you will find like amazing stories. They are amazing. Anyone could win this prize.
We are all winners.
Yeah, we're all
for sure. No, I on that I 100% agree with you. I think everyone who was there, every finalist who was included in the prize was very inspirational and incredible work that they're doing.
Yeah.
It's a tight competition. In that spirit, though, I guess of sharing, and just to sort of bring it all home, for maybe aspiring Zayed Sustainability Prize finalists, for entrepreneurs around the world who have that idea but want to figure out how to put it into practice in the sustainability space, what a piece of advice would you give them? Again, maybe just in a couple sentences.
For me, I want to shout out to all the women out there. Act now, especially in deep tech or scientists. Don't wait. Your ideas, your innovations can come true. Just act now.
What about you, Ronaldo?
Yes, I would say I was talking to another company yesterday that have this willingness to apply to the next year, and I was saying like have the mind open to listen what they say about your company, but also if you have an idea and you believe in your idea, keep moving. Everyone that has this hard work and has this focus, as Marília said, the sun rays on the same place. I liked that. Sometime something will happen, and I think for a lot of us here, this something was the Zayed Sustainability Prize, because it's obvious that this will be game changer for all of us, and we will amplify this impact that we're causing in the world.
I agree with them, and I will say one more thing. This is the third time that I tried Zayed Sustainability Prize, and the other ones I didn't even pass by the door. I wasn't even a finalist or something like that. Sometimes we think that we are not capable enough, the company is not good enough, the technology is not developed enough. You have to act now and go, and if you fail, it's not a fail. You just rewind, try again. Think about it. It's very difficult, but it's great to put the ideas, take the ideas that we have here in our brain, fighting with each other into the paper helps a lot. Read again, rethink about it. Storytelling is the most important thing for any founder. We need to know how to explain our idea, and sometimes you're just not being able to explain exactly what you do. So rephrase it, and
sometimes just is not your time. And as I said, maktub.
Never give up, dream big, and act now. I think these are the three main things.
Yes.
Wonderful words to end on. Thank you so much, Didi. Thank you, Ronaldo, and thank you, Marília, for being with us on the show. This has been Voices of Sustainability. Thank you so much for listening, watching, and being with us, and we'll see you on the next episode.